Fox Sports 940 and the iHeartRadio app is your home for Marlins baseball.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
The best results from Zepbound. The best price from Future Health.
Future Health weight loss.
Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports 940 Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys Studios. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Give them to me.
I need to be there.
Score tickets.
Listen to Football Fridays for your chance to score a 4-pack of tickets to see the Marlins when they host the Giants Sunday, June 1st at Lone Depot Park.
Fox Sports 940. Number one on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WINCA in Miami, WMIBFM HD2 Fort Lauderdale. Free never sounded so good.
1-0 pitch. Stowers cracks that one out to center and deep. Siri is back. He looks up and it's gone. The Marlins waste no time. Kyle Stowers with a 2-run shot, and they take a 2-0 lead in the first.
Miami Marlins baseball is on deck.
2-1. That kicks away from Rodriguez. Hill breaks for the plate. There will be no throw. And on a wild pitch, the Marlins walk it off again. 1-2. Conine lifts out to left field. Tommy Pham working back to the warning track. So is Sawinski. They look up and it's gone. Griffin Conine to left center. And we're tied at 2 in the 7th.
Marlins on deck. Brought to you by ADT, the official smart security partner of the Miami Marlins and Norwegian Cruise Line. Experience more at sea. Let's head out to the ballpark. Here's your host, Steven Strong.
All right, nice job, Carlos. Memorial Day 2025. Today and tonight, we will recognize the importance of remembering those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country as we welcome you to Petco Park. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Home of the Padres since 2004 here in beautiful San Diego, California. You are listening to Miami Marlins baseball on the radio. It's Fox Sports 940. Miami. Game 52 of 162, and the Marlins sported their Road Warrior hard hats over the weekend. Miami took 2 out of 3 against a red-hot Angels team that had won 8 in a row. It was the Marlins' first series victory away from Lone Depot Park this season after their third shutout of this 2025 campaign. Now, Miami embarks on the final leg of this 6-game road trip here in Slam Diego. We bring you game 1 of a 3-game set between the 29 and 22 San Diego Padres and your 21 and 30 Miami Marlins. It'll be Ryan Weathers who faces the team that drafted him back in 2018, then traded him in 2023. Boy, we're glad to have him in Miami. He'll make his 3rd start of the year. He will go opposite Randy Vasquez, 26-year-old right-hander. He was part of that Juan Soto package that sent Soto to New York. He debuted exactly 2 years ago today. First pitch slated for 8:40 right here on the Marlins Radio Network. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks for making Marlins on Deck a part of your Monday night with Jack McMullen and Marlins All-Star closer A.J. Ramos. I'm Steven Strom. We got an awesome show for you here tonight, and we thank you for your participation. We'll talk about where both teams are at coming into Monday night. The Braves played a 4 o'clock game with the Padres, so the Padres did not get in until late last night. Hopefully they sleepwalk here on this Monday night. Jack and Clayton will preview game 1. We'll get you at the count with Weathers and Vasquez, plus a very important roster move. We could potentially see the debut of a certain someone. How about that tease? Jack and AJ will jump in segment 4 for some back and forth Expo question of the day at Marlins Radio and Steve's Guarantee. to victory. So we'll start here where both teams are at, and we'll begin with the home team, the Padres. After starting 7-0 to start the year, and on May 12th, they were 27-15. San Diego has dropped 7 of their last 9, and the offense has dried up. 1.9 runs per game during this 9-game span where they've just won 7 games. It starts with Fernando Tatis. He's hitting just 150, 6 for 40 with a home run and 14 punch-outs in the last 10 games. Jackson Merrill is 7 for 43 with a double, 12 strikeouts in his last 11 games. And Xander Bogaerts has just 1 hit in his last 18 ABs. Now, the Padres' depth has certainly been tested to start this season. No Joe Musgrove, Hugh Darvish, nope. Matt Waldron, nope. And now Michael King to the IL. If the Marlins can somehow, some way wear out these Friars' arms, Miami could head back to the 305 on Wednesday night with a winning road trip. So for the Marlins, third shutout, we mentioned it, of the year. And since May 16th, I want to point this out, Miami starters have a combined 3.77 ERA, 2.86 FIP. That's fielding independence. That's basically not accounting for like defense. But a 3.77 ERA for the Marlins starters, and you're starting to see that influence of Daniel Moscas. We saw Edward Cabrera yesterday. Arguably, and Clayton McCullough said, it was the best start of Cabby's season. Ryan Weathers, through 2 against the Chicago Cubs, has pitched 5 innings each with giving up just 1 run. We've seen glimpses of Max Meyer, 14 punch-outs against the Reds. Cal Quantrill has a 3 ERA this month. So from the pitching standpoint, things are going incredibly well. Connor Norby, offensively, he has hits in 16 of his last 17. He's hitting .338, 7 extra base hits, 11 RBIs. Him and Stowers are starting to heat up, and Stowers has done it the entire year, which has been about 2 months. But nonetheless, the offense is starting to feel good. But let's not beat around a bush. Tonight is about Ryan Weathers, 25-year-old southpaw, drafted here in the organization of the San Diego Padres back in 2018. He debuted during Game 1 of the 2020 NLDS. He was the second pitcher and 6th player in MLB history to make his debut in the postseason. He went through ups and downs, just like any 21-year-old player would do so. The San Diego Padres decided to move on from Weathers and trade him to Miami for Sean Reynolds and Garrett Cooper in 2023. And ever since Ryan has been here with the organization, you have started to see that evolution and that growth into the pitcher that we all know Ryan Weathers could have been. He is that right now. A potential frontline starter for the years to come for this organization. And I think tonight is a big-time moment for Ryan Weathers to show his old team what they traded away. Coming up next, we will talk Ryan Weathers. We will also talk about, just again, a wonderful weekend in Anaheim. Marlins take 2 out of 3. We'll have Clayton McCullough and Jack McMullen preview Game 1 of this 3-game set right here on the Marlins Radio Network.
Ball. And then he got a foul ball and a sinker, and then he went right back to the knuckle curve.
Yep.
1-0 pitch. Stowers with a rocket. That's gloved in the backhand by Rengifo. Goes to short for 1. On to first in time for 2. But a run does come in. No RBI for Stowers. That thing was smoked. 109 miles an hour off the bat, but Rengifo went down to his backside to glove it, and he tossed to short to begin that 4-6-3 double play. Sanchez does score from third base, so it's 2-1 Marlins in the top of the 5th. 2 men out, runner at third, payoff to Wagaman. That one a soft tailing liner down in front of Kyron Paris in center field for a base hit. That one drifted into shallow center field, and that's an RBI single for Eric Wagaman. 2 spot in the 5th makes it 3-1 Marlins. Now the 1-2 from Caden Dana. That one launched down the left field line and deep. Ward is back. He's looking up, and it's a couple rows deep into the seats and gone. Connor Norby went line hunting, and he belts his 3rd homer of the year. And some big-time insurance for the Fish.
Give us your last 48 hours.
Yeah, I got the call Thursday. The manager down there called me in the office after the game, told me I was going up. It was first time in-person call-up, so that was pretty special. You know, heart was racing and everything. And then next day I was on a flight, landed last night, and now we're here. You know, it's kind of full circle, because I debuted here, haven't been back since. So coming back to Anaheim, you know, just fueled me a little bit more.
What were some of your emotions tonight?
Oh, I mean, it was just excitement. I was just excited to come out here and play ball and give the team a chance to win. Pretty much business as usual, but, a little extra adrenaline. And it was great being able to finish the game. Pixie caught a great game.
0647 today. For license information, visit ADT.com.
Back here in beautiful San Diego, California, live from Petco Park, a beautiful venue and a beautiful night here for baseball on this Memorial Day 2025. Stephen Trump, AJ Ramos, and Jack McMullen, those two have your call at 8:40. Again, thanks for your participation here tonight in the program. Marlins on deck. Ryan Weathers will face his old team here tonight, drafted by the Padres back in 2018, traded from San Diego to Miami in 2023. He will go opposite Randy Vasquez. Both guys traded from their original teams, Vasquez from the Yankees to San Diego. Well, to get you ready, of course, for every game one, Clayton McCullough, manager of the Miami Marlins, sat down with Jack McMullen to talk about an excellent weekend for the Marlins, taking 2 out of 3 against the Red Hot Angels, who had won 8 in a row, Edward Cabrera's performance, and what to expect tonight from Southpaw, Ryan Weathers.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Here with the skipper, Clayton McCullough, ahead of Game 1 between the Marlins and the Padres. It was a great win in Anaheim yesterday. I know in San Diego, probably not too fond memories of this place, but some fond memories as a Dodger coach. When you think of Petco Park, what comes to your mind?
Intense games, I will say. Like, they have a very passionate fan base, and I know at least the last 4 years have been extremely supportive of the group here, and it was always an enjoyable series in some way, with the matchup, being so close to each other. So again, had a lot of fond memories, some heartbreaks, here as well. But you always knew it was going to be a highly competitive, contested affair, in a really fun road environment to play in.
I like the word intense. From a fan perspective, they were always intense ball games to watch. Great win yesterday in Anaheim, and Ronnie Enriquez handled the 9th inning. That bullpen, going through the leverage to Ronnie, why did you feel comfortable with Ronnie Enriquez, putting him in a position to get his first major league save?
Well, Ronnie's just continued to perform in a way that we feel great about him in a lot of various, spots within a game. And, I think we've seen him, the day before, come into a game a little earlier when it was a bit hot. And, yesterday, the way, what we were able to get from Cabby and Bender to go 1+. Felt like, Calvin had a good spot in the order to pick it up, and then, we got the 9th. And feel good that Ronnie fits into, multiple parts within the lineup because his ability to get out right, left. I think, his strike throwing has really uptick as the season's gone on. So, it's a good heater with the ability to spin the ball and the strike throwing. So feel right now, Ronnie is throwing the ball well, and I think with each experience he's gotten throughout this season, the chance to put him out there in the 9th, we didn't think twice about it and just felt like right then he was the the best guy that we had remaining down there.
Was Sunday the best you've seen Edward Cabrera look this year?
It was for me. I think we have seen Edward, at least from the last 3 or 4 starts, really to continue to make strides. I think the strike throwing we've talked about a lot. I think that's kind of where Edward's at his best. One walk for a string of starts. Yesterday we only had a couple and they were late, but his ability to yesterday to fill up the zone with so many different pitches, and he was getting strikeouts on his curveball, some sliders, change-ups, elevating some heaters. So, we know that the repertoire is, electric, and his ability to get in the zone with multiple offerings, then that puts the hitters in a real defensive, spot to be in.
So Cabby on Sunday, we go to Weathers here on Monday in San Diego. A little bit of a revenge game for Weathers, but this guy's looked so sharp in his first 2 starts, both against the Cubs, who were 5 innings, a 1-run ball. What have you liked from Ryan through his front 2 turns, and what are you looking for him to kind of level up with in start 3?
I think what watching Ryan, the stuff's been fantastic. I think the execution has been at a high rate, and I think even speaking with him, he has a ton of confidence now, and he knows the weapons that he has and the trust he has in those, but also he feels like the ability now to be able to stay within his delivery, be able to go from pitch to pitch, execute one at a time, and so I think he knows he has weapons to get guys out with, and now the confidence and the ability to slow things down and just go execute one at a time, and not let one spray or one misfire lead in, and now it's just step off, go make a good pitch on the next one. So I think we're seeing a very talented young pitcher continue to start mature and understanding how to start at the major league level and to try to keep yourself out of disadvantage counts and innings as best you can.
Ryan obviously ready for a good challenge against a very strong Padre lineup, and you look at the front third of this lineup. You've got Tatis, Machado, Merrill. How do you keep those guys at bay over the course of a 3-game set?
You're gonna have to execute, and you're gonna have to be on the attack with them. I mean, Manny's extremely intelligent. Manny's gonna navigate through it from at bat to bat and pitch to pitch, and kind of get a sense and try to sniff out how he's being attacked. Fernando certainly brings it. Can change the scoreboard in the box. He brings a dynamic on the bases with his speed. And Jackson Merrill, I think the whole country saw last year. I think him break out, and he's a very talented young player that showed a lot of maturity beyond his years with how he handled himself and played. So it's a tough task there at the top. I mean, 1 through 9, they're a good team offense, and I think we'll just have to do our part, catch the ball on defense and limit the free passes on the mound.
Layton, appreciate it. Best of luck.
All right, thanks a lot,
Steven.
All right, excellent stuff, Jack McMullen and Clayton McCullough. Yeah, I mean, Cabrera was awesome yesterday. 5 2/3, 10 punch-outs, season high, of course, in double digits. That's the cabbie that you dream about every 5th day, right? And he has been awesome the month of May. We'll see if he can continue it with the guidance of Daniel Mosquez, who, again, I opened by saying this. The team ERA for the starters, 3.77 since not last Friday, but the Friday before that Friday homestand that started with the Tampa Bay Rays. You're starting to see the residue of the influence of Daniel Mosquez. The other thing I want to talk about, again, Ryan Weathers. This is I think, incredibly big start for him. I know we like to do this as media people. We like to make a baseball game that's played 162 games, maybe a little bit bigger than the one yesterday. But there are just some that feel a tad bigger. And I'm going to tell you why. It's not only because, in my opinion, the San Diego Padres gave up on Weathers and probably put him in a couple of unfair situations to debut in the playoffs in 2020 at 21 years old. That's a tall task. And if you're going to do that, you should be able to sit and hang with them when the waves get rough and when the waves get soft. Through and through, you hang with them, and they did not. They traded Ryan Weathers to the Marlins for Sean Reynolds and Garrett Cooper. Cooper's not here. Reynolds has been good for them in the bullpen. But Ryan Weathers really looked at himself in the mirror. He lost 20 pounds going into the offseason this year, came back looking different, feeling different. We know he's got a pitcher's mind. His dad is David Weathers, so he's gotten that grow up in a big league house childhood. So I think, especially because when Weathers was traded here in 23, 3 weeks later, he faced that San Diego Padres team right here from Petco Park, and it did not go well for him. So I think all in all, this would be a nice way to flush kind of what had happened in the past with San Diego. And then after this, I mean, it's like, all right, you're just pitching in San Diego. But I do think tonight is particularly a bigger start for Weathers. Weathers will go opposite Randy Vasquez. We will get you ahead of the count. Marlins on Deck continues on the Marlins Radio Network.
That it's just it's hard to put your finger on why that's happening.
Wagaman launches one high into the LA Knight left center field. That thing is back, and it's gone. Welcome home, Mr. Wagaman. Eric Wagaman with a solo homer to left center field, his 4th long ball on the year. And the Marlins are on the board. It's 6-1 Angels here in the 7th. A 2-for-3 day today, hitting .315. 0-1 pitch. That one rocketed out to right, down the line. That one rolling all the way to the wall past Soler. You got Norby around third. He's getting the run around home. Relay throw is pocketed by Rengifo, and it's an RBI double for a 3-hit day for Kyle Stowers. Whites for the Angels. And the 2-1 pitch. That one a rocket through the left side. A base hit. They're going to send Augustine. Paulie scores from third. Throw coming in is cut off by the third baseman Moncada, and that's a 2-run single for Wagaman. A 3-hit day in his return to Anaheim, and it's 6-4 Angels in the top of the 8th.
I think, really, they've been swinging the bats very well. They've been, hitting a lot of home runs, and I think, having a chance to have seen the Angels the last few years, a couple times this season, you've seen some of their younger players that seem like they're taking some steps, forward and maturing. Nito at shortstop's very good, and Ohapi behind the plate. Shell now at first base. So these guys have, been up here for a few years now, and it seemed like maturing at the major league level. And so, right now, catching them at a time when they're playing well. But the beautiful part about that is, what happened yesterday, the day before, has no bearing on today. We'll have to go out this series and handle the baseball defensively, limit some of the opportunities that we give them.
And experts you need. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
Hey, this is Andrew Nardi, and you're listening to Marlins on Deck with Steven Strom on the Marlins Radio Network.
Well, thanks, Andrew Nardi. Listen to your Marlins on the go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to every Marlins game. Carlos back in the studio, back in beautiful Miami. I heard it's really hot these days, 90+ degrees today. Here in San Diego, it is perfect, 68 degrees. I actually might have to put on this jacket that I have behind my chair. That's how beautiful it is here. It's game one of this 3-game set. Last leg for the Marlins on this West Coast trip. Took 2 out of 3 against Anaheim. Looking to do the same. Hopefully a little sweep action on this Monday, Memorial Day 2025. Ryan Weathers will toe the rubber for Miami here tonight. 25-year-old southpaw. We talked about it. Former 7th overall pick in the 2018 draft by this organization. He'll make his 3rd start of the season. He will face the Padres for the first time since August 21st of 2023. We mentioned this in the last segment. He was traded at that trade deadline, went to the minors in AAA, came up 3 weeks later to make this start and struggled. He is 2-0 this year, or 1-0 rather, in 2 starts against the Chicago Cubs, a 1.80 ERA, 10 innings pitched. He came away with a no decision in his last one on Tuesday in Miami versus the Cubs. He surrendered just a solo shot to Kyle Tucker, but all in all, Ryan Weathers has looked the part the first 2 starts. He will go opposite Randy Vasquez, interesting 26-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic. He'll make his 11th start of the season. He was an international free agent with the New York Yankees, signed there in 2018. He debuted with the New York Yankees on this date 2 years ago, May 25th. Traded on December of 2023. He was part of that Juan Soto trade, so a big piece of that Soto trade. Now he is in a pretty big position in the starting rotation. Michael King hurt, Joe Musgrove hurt, Hugh Darvish hurt. So they've really relied on Randy Vasquez, and he's been good. He's answered the bell, 3-4, a 3.49 ERA. He suffered a hard loss on Wednesday in Toronto, gave up 2 runs on 4 2/3 innings pitched. The Padres ended up losing that game 14-0, but 4 starts here in the month of May. 6 runs over 21 2/3, a 2.49 ERA. Now, the one thing that the Marlins are going to have to make sure that they do is show some patience. Randy Vasquez has a 12% walk rate. League average is 8.4, so there's an opportunity for the Marlins to try to take advantage of Vasquez, see some pitches. But Vasquez has cleaned it up. The last 3 starts only walking just 3 batters, so averaging 1 per start. He throws a cutter, a sweeper, a 4-seamer, a sinker, a curveball, and a changeup. Everything kind of sits in the 91-92 area. So Randy Vasquez is looking to get the San Diego Padres back on track. They did take 2 out of 3 against the Atlanta Braves, but like I opened up, they have lost 7 of their last 9, so maybe a little bit vulnerable. We will explore why next. Jack McBone, AJ Ramos, they will join me next to get us ready for game 1 of this 3-game set between the Marlins and the Padres on the Marlins Radio Network.
3-0 pitch, green light. That one hammered out to center and deep. A line shot homer. 3-0 swinging, and Sanchez greets Ben Brown to Miami.
I was talking to Sanchez before the game today. I don't know if you guys were around or not, but he was out here working on his base stealing today. And I said, "You going to steal a base today?" He said, "Not only am I going to steal a base today, but I'm going to hit a home run too."
Brown, Stowers hitting cleanup today, but again a 3-ball count. And Augustine Ramirez hits one high and deep left center. Suzuki back, Suzuki track. That one's gone. Back-to-back blasts open the ball game. Sanchez is second, Ramirez is 6th, and it's 2-0 Fish in the first. And the 2-1. That one ripped down the first base line. That's in for a base hit. This could win it. It's rolling all the way to the wall. Hillen to tie it. Sanoja in to win it. And it's a walk-off 2-run double for Jesus Sanchez. The Marlins magic continues in Miami.
Derek, this was just an incredible win tonight. What did your team display against the Cubs?
I feel like what we've been displaying the whole year. Doesn't matter until the last pitch. We're always in it no matter what.
What are you thinking with Sanchez up at the plate?
I knew we were going to win once he got up. I mean, it's just a fact. You could see it in his takes and everything. I mean, he's one hell of a hitter. We had a hell of a pitcher out there, but our guy won this time.
You were down 0-2 against a guy that's throwing 101. What's going through your mind?
Just trying to see it up. All of his slug is kind of up, and just let me kind of stay back on that slider and drive it the other way.
I know you said that this team has displayed this toughness all season long, but what's the conversation like in the ninth inning when you're down 1?
There is no conversation. We already know what we got to do to handle business.
Take the Marlins wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app and make Fox Sports 940 your top preset to listen to not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but all Miami Marlins games. And you want to listen lately. I mean, 2 out of 3 against the Anaheim Angels. Steven Strom here, AJ Ramos. And I was going to call you Ryan Weathers for a second because I'm so excited about his start. But Jack McMullen,
nice.
He also joins us. I want to talk Ryan Weathers with you, AJ, because I've made it a bigger deal probably than it is. It's 1 of 162. But is there an amp-up factor when you face a former team? And, like, how do you neutralize it if you're Ryan Weathers tonight?
Well, yeah, 100% there is. And, when I pitched against the Marlins when I was with the Mets, there was definitely that factor that you have to deal with. And what you have to go to is do the basics. Be where your feet are. I know I would always have a process where I would try to hear the crunching of my cleats on the dirt to ground myself to let me know that I'm here right now. And then once you establish that, then you just go about your business as usual. And with Weathers tonight, I feel like if he establishes that fastball up, because that's what he was doing a lot against the Cubs both times he pitched, which, by the way, pitching back-to-back times against a team within 6 days and having success like that, that shows that you have the stuff. And then he's been using that changeup and also sneaking in that sweeper. The sweeper against the Cubs, I think it was the first game or second game, there was 40% whiff rate on it. So I want him to utilize that a little bit more today, see if he can establish that. And if he does that, along with the changeup and that fastball up, he's going to have success.
Jack, this is a top-heavy Padres lineup. There's no question about it. They've lost 7 of the last 9, but they did take 2 out of 3 against the Braves. Where's this team vulnerable?
I think they're vulnerable if you get them from the jump. And you roll through the starting pitching injuries. They've got a lot of those. Like, what is it? Darvish with elbow inflammation. Michael King just hit the IL with shoulder inflammation, and that guy's proven to be one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. You've got Joe Musgrove on the shelf with Tommy John surgery. Johnny Brito had the internal brace done, which is a quicker turnaround. Waldron has the oblique issue. Like, that's 5 guys that we just rattled off. So right now it's Cease, it's Pivetta who's throwing well, and then it's kind of a hodgepodge of what's to come. Like, they went with a bullpen day yesterday, and Sean Reynolds, the former Marlin, as the opener. Like, you can get them in the starting rotation, and you have to get them right away because this bullpen is one of the best in baseball, and you got to cruise through the back 2/3 of this lineup. 4 or 5 through 9, you have to cruise through because Merrill, Tatis, Machado, it's really not if, it's when. Those guys are 3 of the best hitters in Major League Baseball.
And Randy Vasquez will start. Really cool storylines tonight, I think, for Ryan Weathers facing his former team. But for Randy Vasquez, 2 years ago, made his debut with the Yankees, though. He was part of that Juan Soto trade. What are we getting ourselves into tonight, AJ, with Randy Vasquez?
He's going to try to establish that cutter glove side. When he does that, then that makes his his sweeper play even better because it starts off in the same place and it makes a lot of guys chase.
Sure.
He does walk a lot of guys because I think that's his game plan to get the swing and miss. So if we stay patient, stay back on it, and try to hit the ball the other way if you're the righty, and let the ball get a little bit deep if you're a lefty, you're going to have success off him. But make sure you maintain your game plan and don't try to get out of it and get big because that's where he utilizes his stuff. So just be a little patient, stay balanced, and drive the ball the other way.
Roster move today. I was supposed to share that in the head of the count, but we got some big news. Victor Mesa Jr. was recalled from AAA Jacksonville.
Yeah.
If he does appear tonight, it will be his Major League debut. Derek Hill placed on the 10-day IL with a left wrist sprain. This is big for the organization, I think, Jack. What can you tell us about Victor Mesa Jr.?
Well, I think a lot of people can tell you something about Victor Mesa Jr. because he's been a big name in the Marlins organization for quite some time now, right? And the reason he's recalled is because he was on the 40-man roster already.
Yep.
We really didn't get a good look at Victor Mesa this spring training because he went down with that hamstring issue right away. That forced him to miss the outset of the season, but he's been swinging it well in Jacksonville to this point. Mesa is a guy that can handle all 3 outfield spots, has a really good arm, and
can run into some power. Like, he's a guy where probably profiles is like a 260 hitter with 15 homers, but it's a really good kind of fourth outfielder to have. And if he plugs in and he plays left for a couple days, he plays center once a week, like, that's a guy that you really like having on the roster. He's exciting. He's got a very infectious personality.
Yes,
he's a very fun dude to be around. He's a net positive in this clubhouse. And, obviously rooting for a speedy recovery from D. Hill, but this is a moment that I know a lot of Marlins fans have been waiting on with Victor Mesa Jr.
23 years old, hit 250 with a home run. That home run came in his first game back with AAA Jacksonville. Again, he's only played just 16 games. He is available off the bench. Shall Clayton McCullough turn to Victor Mesa Jr.? AJ, Jack, thank you very much. We will hear them in about 12 minutes. Going to be an 8:40 first pitch. Again, Ryan Weathers goes opposite Randy Vasquez. We'll break here on the other side. X-Bowl question, Steve's guarantee, and then we'll play some baseball on the Marlins Radio Network.
I think they're sick. I like the colors. Like I just said, the teals, I think that's Miami baseball. That's Marlins baseball. The pink's a nice little touch. That logo, this logo, I think that might be the best one that we've had in maybe ever, in my opinion. So I wish we would use it more. And I wish we'd bring back the teal full time, but beggars can't be choosers. But it's overall really cool.
I love it. Yeah, I think the colors are cool. The design, the meaningful design behind the music scene in Miami is a pretty cool touch. I feel like they're not too different from our normal uniforms, but they have just enough flair to draw a crowd, hopefully, and feel cool wearing them.
I like them. I'm a big fan of highlighter colors. I love the bright blue and the bright pink. That's what I got for you.
You guys are the first team in Major League history to have an area code donned on your cap. What do you think about that?
It's a unique touch, I think. Everyone knows Miami is the 305, Pitbull, the music industry, which is what the jerseys are pretty much themed from, and the history behind the Marlins organization, the 2 World Championships. It's cool, and there's so many different things to do in Miami. There's so many different people. It's a community that brings everybody together, and I think that's what the jersey is really about.
I love it. I think that's kind of synonymous with what people think of when they hear Miami. Pitbull really did a good job.
We said the same thing.
Yeah. I think everyone knows what the 305 is, so I think it's a cool hat.
If you had to take any fashion advice from your teammates, who would be the guy you'd take some fashion advice from?
Yeah, probably Connor Norby. Yeah, I'd say more of like the reverse of what he does. Don't do that.
Thanks for the time.
Marlins.com/Babcock.
You could play this jam a little bit. Turn this thing up a little bit, Carlos. There we go. Let's go. Everyone wake up on the East Coast, okay? Just took 2 out of 3. 10 minutes away from first pitch. Marlins on deck here. Steven Strom, Fox Sports 940 Miami. AJ Ramos, Jack McMullen. Those two have your call. Ryan Weathers will go opposite Randy Vasquez. Thank you again, Carlos. Good job by you back in the studio. Let's get to our X-Bowl question tonight. We talked about Weathers, and he was traded from, of course, San Diego to Miami. But who are the 2 individuals that the Marlins sent to San Diego? One of them is currently playing with the Padres. One is not. Make sure to vote at Marlins Radio. If, Carlos, you have it, I would absolutely love to relay my Steve's guarantees.
Batter up. Batter up.
Let's play some ball.
First pitch is moments away. Time now for Steve's guarantees.
Whenever I see 12% walk rate, it's like these things go around in my head. It's like the red alert. Din, din, din. Marlins have to draw 3 walks against Vasquez here tonight. They were able to do that a couple of nights ago, even though the guarantee was wrong because the Marlins lost. I'll take my W on my end. I like the Marlins to draw 3 walks against Vasquez. And then on the other end, I got to give a ton of credit to AJ Ramos for pointing this stat out to me. 8 of Vasquez's 11 extra base hits have been against lefties. Easy for me. Kyle Stowers, maybe it's an easy take, collects an extra base hit. He also is playing in front of a ton of family. He was a 2016 San Diego Union Tribune Student Athlete of the Year when he was at Christian High School, 19 miles away from Petco Park. He also led him to a state title, so I think he's playing with a little bit of juice as well. Folks, I hope you got the itch for first pitch, because when we come back, Jack McMullen, he paints the picture. AJ Ramos, he's ready to rock. Starting lineups in first pitch is right around the corner. Thanks for tuning in to the Marlins on Deck pregame show. I'm Steven Strom. Let's flip the M together, Miami Marlins baseball. It's next on the Marlins Radio Network.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to